Dr. Dibinga, you know, the boycott issue is as controversial as all of these issues. You have Black creatives, you have Black entrepreneurs saying the opposite of what Alan says. They're saying,
but I think
don't stop.
the one thing I want to say
Hold
before
on,
we
hold
shift is
on.
they should work
I
for
want to phrase,
you.
but
They should
hold
work
on.
for you.
They're saying, don't stop shopping at Target or
Yeah.
Walmart, because if you do, you're proving them right that we don't have buying power, that we can't create
Sure.
economic opportunities. And they're saying, keep shopping. In fact, buy more, you know, wipe the shelves of all of our products. And then, Dr. Binger, you have these creatives saying, well, you have civil rights leaders, Al Sharpton, for one, saying, no, we have to have an organized, old school 1960s Rosa Parks, don't ride the bus kind of boycott. Where are you on the boycott?
Well, the fact of the matter is, what matters to me right now is that we as a community we're having the discussion on what to do. Because for months I've been saying these things are coming. Where is the conversation about the boycotts? And I saw Reverend Sharp and say that we're going to meet and come up with a plan in 90 days. And clearly, I'm like, we don't have 90 days. So clearly, he decided to, do
You're
something
not liking the Black folks time frame, Dr. Dibinga.
I'm just saying, give me 90 minutes. You know what I mean? So, first of all, we have to have the discussion. That's the most important part. So, we're not doing something blind. I think that also we have to be mindful of a question I have is it only Black people who are having these discussions? Because all of these other groups, DEI programs, as we've established, affect everybody. So, our indigenous folks talking about this, Hispanic people, like, we bear the brunt for so many other groups. 1968, we fought that other immigrants can come in, removing the quota, and they come in here calling us the N-word. Like, so it's like we fight for 14th Amendment, help, gay marriage and the Chinese Exclusion Act. Like the things we fought for have benefited so many other people, but they don't come back and support us. The other part that I'm thinking about is, are any of these creators going to places like Target and say, if you don't want me, I don't want you, I'm pulling my own stuff from the shelf? Because part of me says that there's something wrong with the idea that a company can say that they don't want us and they profit from us more. Like something is, and I'm not saying I'm not sure where to go, but that doesn't sound right. And so rather than these creators talking about it's going to affect us, these creators should be partnering with us, working together to make sure we can still support them outside of that space. And so I believe that we need to go where we're celebrated and not tolerated. But the most important thing right now is that we are having this discussion so we can figure out how to move as a community. And that's the most important thing for me to see right now.
And I want the record to reflect, we're not having it 90 days later. We got
Right.
the letter yesterday.
That's
We're
right.
having it 24 hours later. Yeah, the Black creatives piece, my producers can tell you, really hit me wrong. I came in hot on that one because, first of all, so many of those creatives are in those stores because of diversity, equity, and inclusion, because of the work that we did, all of us collectively, fighting and marching and protesting and filing lawsuits and winning lawsuits so that companies would end discrimination, not just in hiring and employment practices, but also in their purchasing practices. So put some respect on the work that civil rights leaders did to get you in these stores. And amen, Dibinga, for going to these stores saying, look, if you're rolling back DEI, you are essentially hurting a community that I am a part of. And I'm not okay with that. Look at the power these creatives and these entrepreneurs would have if they stepped up and said, it's not okay to roll back these policies and send a message to Black people, brown people, disabled people that they're not welcome in your corporations. Because how can, as you said, how can I sell my products here and the very people that buy them, because ain't nobody buying no Black gel cream, a straight iron, flat iron in your hair cream, except Black folks. And let's be real, come on, it's Black women buying a lot of these products. So where is the solidarity with us? And I do want to, before we wrap up, talk about, Dr. Dibinga, your point about where are other folks? Why are we left to save everybody? 92% of Black women voted for Kamala Harris. We're doing our part. Imagine how powerful, Alan, a boycott would be if it wasn't just Black folks not shopping at Target, if Latinos said they're not shopping at Target, if people with disabilities, if white women said they weren't going to shop at Target, we could shut Target down. We could bring it to its knees. So is that conversation happening? The coalition?
I think it is. I think it's happening, but I think the difference is when you talk about those groups, they have alternative spaces to sell their goods. We're selling those goods in Target. There isn't the black hair store anymore. Most of the black brands have been bought by other companies that don't sort of relinquish or care about those brands. So this whole black ownership that we had before, where we wouldn't be having these conversations if we owned BET, if we still owned the Black magazine, if there was still, I think Bonner Brothers is still owned by the Bonner family. I'm not sure, but don't hold me to that. If you still own the line of products of what you're selling. So part of the issue is we sold our land into someone and now they're charging us to get back on it. And so we know that it's fickle. So going forward, we need to make sure that that space doesn't exist anymore. So I do think there's solidarity. But if you go to any neighborhood, Mexican neighborhood, Chinese neighborhood today on the Lunar New Year, or Japanese neighborhood, there's going to be a Japanese store with Japanese products owned by Japanese people with Japanese people working in there. You rarely see that in African American communities outside of small mom and pop restaurants, 1 and 2 employees, 4 to 5 employees outside the restaurant. The commercial goods, the manufacturing goods, we don't see that anymore. And that's something that we lost that we need to reclaim. And that will take some time. So while we think about rebuilding that, or people like you rebuild that as an owner to work for other Black people, the concept for Black Americans can no longer be go to school and work for someone else. That's the problem that we have. Because as soon as you work for someone else, they can pull it away from you.